Okay, here we are with our planter in position next to our previously constructed planter, and we're getting ready to get it filled up with the material and get our pot and soil placed on top of it and go ahead and get our seeds in the ground. We'll get back with you in a few minutes. Hang tight. Okay, YouTube, we're back and we have our miniature Hugel culture raised bed garden planter here complete and ready to be filled. What we're going to do here is, what we actually have here is a scaled down version of the raised bed planter that we have here. It's just a smaller scaled version. I'm going to plant far fewer plants in this one than we actually have planted over there. So, being a hugelculture garden bed here, what we're going to do first is, as you can see here on the ground, I have a pile of dead small branches and twigs that fell from the trees in my backyard, and I also have a pot of leaves that fell from the same trees. We're going to start out by taking these small twigs here and small branches and breaking them up into pieces small enough to arrange in here. We're going to try to pretty much cover the entire bottom with pieces of those. If we don't have enough, we're going to go back in the backyard and collect a few more to make sure we cover the bottom pretty good with those. And then we're going to cover those branches and twigs and so forth with maybe just one covering of these leaves we have here. If it's not enough, we'll come back and put another layer of these leaves on here. We're going to finish up by topping it off with our favorite garden soil from our favorite garden store here in Tifton, Georgia. This stuff runs, it's a 2 cubic foot bag, and it runs about $6.44 at your local Walmart or somewhere like that, right? Or somewhere like that. At any rate, we're going to go ahead and get this process started, and we'll come back and check in with you along each step so you can see how we're doing this. And at the end of this video, you should be able to make your own hugelculture planter out of. You can even do this in a flower pot like the one I have there on the ground. You can even do it in one of those, and it works the exact same way. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Just a quick peek here to show you guys what I've done. That's the pile of twigs I had here next to me on the ground. I simply took those twigs and branches and pieces of tree bark and arranged them in the bottom of the planter here, trying to cover the bottom as best as I could with them. You don't have to be perfect with it. After all, they're only going to just decay and start to rot almost immediately once you place soil over them and start to water this thing. At any rate, the next step is to add a layer of leaves on top of that. Now we're going to go ahead and do that now live, and I think we're going to need several pots of these leaves. This planter is actually, as I mentioned before, about 2 feet by about 18 inches. So I think it's going to take a couple of these pots of leaves here to put an even coating of leaves in the bottom of this planter here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Please excuse all of the traffic noise in the background. It's around rush hour here in my hometown, and everybody's getting off work and trying to make it home. I don't know, guys. One spot just may do it here. Okay, as simple as that. Just add a coating of leaves on top of your twigs and branches in the bottom. Press them down kind of firmly on top of your layer of twigs in the bottom. And there you have it. Nothing fancy. And again, we're just simply recycling leaves and twigs from your side or backyard or front yard maybe. They will immediately begin to break down after we top them off with this soil here and plant our seeds here in this planter. And speaking of seeds, by the way, we're going to be planting these guys. These are actually, I don't know if that's in focus. iPad. Anyway, we're going to be planting these guys. I actually have these guys left over from last year. Got them from Walmart. They were only $1.64 or something like that. But they're early peas, and they actually require a trellis or something to climb upon and spread out, and so that's what we're doing here at the top here. We're already in the process of constructing our trellis for these guys to climb upon once they get to that stage. Also, we're going to plant a few of these guys in here. So you guys can see it. These are Garden Sweet Burtless Hybrid cucumbers. We also planted these last year. Actually, we planted these in pots last year, and they did very, very well. So we're going to plant the remainder of these guys and a couple of mounds here once we have this topped off with this soil over here. And we'll bring you guys back for that step as soon as we have the garden soil in place. See you in a few. All right, guys, we're back, and as you can see, we have our planter filled with a top layer of potting soil here, our favorite mix. And in the back, we've already pre-poked 4 holes here in the back. In the back, we're going to plant our cucumber seeds. They're going to be the heaviest, so we want the heaviest weight on our trellis in the back. And we're going to plant our peas here in the front because they're much lighter than the cucumbers, and it won't be a problem to run those across the front of the trellis. So typically when you're planting cucumber seeds, you want to drop 3 to 4, maybe even 4 to 6 seeds in each hole. But since we only have about 16 seeds, we're going to drop 4 in each hole. We're going to do that now. So now that we have all of our seeds down in the holes, we're simply going to cover them up with a light coating of soil here, and they're planted about ½ an inch deep. And there you have it. Next, we're going to go ahead and plant these guys. We're going to plant them as close to the front as we possibly can, because we're going to run strings from down here to up here for these guys to climb upon. And we're going to run strings from down here to another string that I'm going to run along the back side of this and all the way down to that end down there from this for the cucumbers to climb upon and run in that direction. So although they're sitting on one end of the where the trellis is going to be, it's designed that way so that they can actually run that way and provide partial shade to what we have down here. So on those hot and sunny days when the sun's really blistering, we'll have a nice canopy up here to help keep these guys down here from getting too parched down here. That'll also help to conserve moisture in the soil in this particular planter over here, as well as the one over here. So let's go ahead and make our holes, and we're going to plant our peas here now. See you in a sec. Okay, so we're back. We have our peas, and we're about to drop those in the hole. As you can see, we planted these guys about 2 inches apart in one row all the way across, because we're actually going to utilize this space here in the middle in between the front and back rows of what we planted for something else. I'm not quite sure what we're going to plant in there yet, but we will use that space for something that grows well in shade to partial shade, and we'll find out what that is here as we go along. At any rate, let's go ahead and drop these seeds in the hole now. So actually we planted 11 of those guys going across. I wish we could have squeezed a dozen in there, but it just wasn't quite enough space. But anyway, those 11 guys should do quite well, and we're simply gonna poke those guys down into their holes here with a small stick. Want to get them about an inch down in the soil. And then we'll just take our fingers and give them a light dusting of soil to cover them. And there you have it. We'll put these remaining seeds back in the package, as well as these 2 leftover cucumber seeds that we tossed over in here while we were planting those guys in the back earlier. Okay, YouTube, as today comes to an end and the sun begins to set, we have our miniature Hugel culture raised bed planter in place, fully planted, and we also have a completed trellis for the beans and the cucumbers to climb and run along this pole at the top. So we'll keep you guys updated on the progress of these plants as they sprout and make their way up this trellis. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button at the bottom of this page. Thanks.